Hey everyone, it's Brandy and you're watching Abstract Crafter. In today's video, we are going to continue our sealing experiments with this DuraClear High Gloss Varnish. So, if you're curious about how this works for sealing diamond paintings and diamond painted accessories, then just keep on watching and we will get into that in just a few moments. Why, hello friends! Welcome back! If you're new to my channel, hi, hello, and welcome. And I am so glad that you decided to spend a little bit of time with me today while I try out a new varnish for a sealant. So I am always on the lookout for different sealants and stuff that I can test out. And I happen to go up to the craft stores, Hobby Lobby in this case, and I saw this. So I'm not sure if this has been recommended by any of you up until this point, or if anybody's done any videos on it. I'm super far behind on checking on that stuff, so forgive me for that. But the way the Judikins worked when I thinned that out got me thinking that there's a whole slew of products that I haven't even considered for stuff like this. So when that's thinned out, if you did not see that last video, I'll link the playlist up above. It acts as a lacquer. So I started thinking there's so many products that are used for different types of sealing purposes, besides for diamond paintings, of course. So why not look into some of those? They've got to work as well. Maybe not on a medium like a diamond painted object, but so this is I want to say the 7th product that we're checking out, because we did the UV resin, the epoxy resin, triple thick Tombow Aqua, Mod Podge Dimensional Magic, and Judikins. So yes, this is number 7, and this is the little swatch sheet that we have going on here. So these are everything minus the resins. I have yet to add those, and we're coming up real close on product number 10. So after this, we'll be looking at the Mod Podge gloss, and we'll be doing this both just full on and thinned out, and then we'll be working with this puzzle guard, which kind of works as any puzzle glue would. I think there'll be one in the same as far as that goes. So I think once we are done with this one, we'll kind of do a wrap, like maybe every 10 products, right around that mark. I know that'll only be 9, but we'll kind of wrap up where we're at, because I have so many of these to go that at some point the video will be way too long if I try to do every single one in a single video. So I think after so many products, we'll just kind of wrap from there. So the drill is the same. We're going to do a couple of accessories. We'll do a round painting and a square painting. I mean, these are technically rounds, but see how these react on a canvas. Not a whole lot's going to change, other than the way that at the very end, I always do these videos in 2 parts. So day 1 is the application. Day 2 is showing you all the results. And I have not been super successful to this point of capturing how they look finished, but I have a couple of ideas on how we can do that. So I have this, it's a photographer cube. It's called a light box. And you place your product inside and you take pictures inside, and it's supposed to be fully lit and really enhance the way a product looks. So I thought maybe we could try that. It never dawned on me until I was reading some of the comments that say that it's really hard to see what the products look like. And so I've been racking my brain on how I can make it better so that we can actually see how it looks. And that was one of the things that I came up with. And then the other thing is where I take the actual pictures. It's the same type of lighting that I have for my videos now, but it's on top of my washing machine, which is basically a white surface. So I thought maybe that might be another alternative versus the slideshow. You'll have to let me know if you have any ideas for me down in the comments about how I can go about capturing these a little bit better and show them a little bit more realistic, as though you were right here with me, besides actually buying brand new camera equipment with macro settings and whatnot. So why don't we get into this? We are 5 minutes into the video already, and I have rambled on long enough, but I really wanted to get your opinion on that. So the DuraClear High Gloss, it's another Deco Art product. The Triple Thick was also a Deco Art product. They have tons though. They have so many. And the way this one works is it protects with a durable, high gloss, non-yellowing finish, which I think is super important because glues can yellow over time or crack. And that's kind of what these experiments are for, is to find products that check all the boxes. They last long, they don't yellow, they don't crack, they don't chip off. And I've been hearing mixed results with a lot of these products. So, I mean, I think it's just going to be highly personal. So what you do is you just shake this gently. Probably you don't want to vigorously shake it or you'll get a lot of air bubbles, I'm guessing. And it says to apply with a flat brush. I don't have a flat brush. I do, but you can see the bristles are kind of sticking together. So I'm going to do whatever I can, and I have one that goes a little bit flat when it's brushing. So we'll try that and we'll see how it goes. And it says to allow this to dry to the touch before adding additional layers. I do not do additional layers, I just do one. So let's zoom in and get started, as I'm sure I'm going to irritate somebody with how much I have just rambled. We'll go 2.5% this time, a little bit closer. So let's start with the froggy. And I'm not going to thin this out or anything like that. I'm just going to go straight in with it. I will add a little bit of glitter when I actually test on the canvases themselves. So let's just put a little bit in a shot glass. Well, let's take the protective seal off first. Oh, this one comes off easy. I've really struggled with some of these. And if you're sensitive to stuff like this, make sure you're wearing gloves. It doesn't have a strong odor, so that's really good. This was $8 at Hobby Lobby. I actually used a 40% off coupon because I had a bunch of sale stuff. So this ended up being the most expensive thing that I could use a coupon on. Unfortunately, I put a lot in there, but I should be able to dump back what I don't use fairly easily. So it's got a nice consistency and not super watery. It's not too thick. I think it'll be something that's easy to work with. And as always, I like to start on the edges of these so that I kind of build some borders for myself. Put a nice little gob on there and kind of go to town. So my main goal with the stickers is to cover pretty much where the glue is like overhanging or whatever. I think most people wouldn't even worry when it comes to stickers, but it's just something that I can easily show on camera. Since you can shake this product, I also don't believe it's going to be an issue as far as overworking it. I've seen this product in conjunction with my pour paintings, but again, it's another situation where it would have never dawned on me to actually use it as a sealant, mostly because, broken record here, I've never thought about sealing my paintings, but I'm having so much fun doing these experiments, and I just want to just find more and more, and I think I'll actually be sad when the day comes that there's no more products to test, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a nice long series in which we can just continue to test things. There's going to be other things I can do with the sealants that turn out to be viable, like thinning them out, adding other things to them, trying different methods of application so that they're not, you don't have to do what I'm doing here and covering it completely. All right, so that was a nice fast application. So all I'm going to do now is thin it out and try to make sure that it's getting into every single little groove and nook and cranny that are commonly associated with round paintings. And I do like to go both ways on them just to make sure, because with something that is a high gloss, if you miss a spot, you're really going to notice it. All right, so let's lift that up so you can see it. You can see what it looks like right now, and it's still got a lot of sparkle, so I'm hopeful in that aspect. So now we're going to bring in a key ring here, and I don't even remember what is on the other side, but this is completely sealed on this side with two different products. As you can see, the sparkle isn't really there except for where the glitter has been. So, and you can see a difference, I hope. Especially these gems. And in the last video, the Judikins one, I had talked about how I hadn't found a sealant yet that doesn't take away from these bigger, like, diamond colored ones or diamond shaped ones. So that is my big hope more than anything, is to find the perfect thing that won't take anything away. So I like to also just brush half and leave the middle alone so that those gems can help us. And something I'm noticing already is that my brush is getting very stiff. So hopefully this is a quick drying thing. It has no dry time on the actual bottle, so I have no idea how long it suggests letting it dry for. But I will give it 24 hours like I do with everything else. And I don't usually go over the bigger gems right away. I usually do them last so I don't overwork it and leave brush strokes on top of it. But I am very hopeful with this product. So I'm just going to have faith that it's going to be all right. And we're pretty much already done. I'm trying to also do the edges at the same time. Though they already have sealant from whatever products were on the other side. I just want to make sure that they are really good and sealed, because that's where my issues are, is with the edges of the key rings. So I always like to make sure that they're nicely coated there. Now, and I know that like a lot of the glues are people's favorite products and stuff like that, but I find that those are the ones that crack more, even when you add water to them. And my favorite one so far is also a glue, so I'm hoping to find a favorite that is not a glue. And now I'm just gonna come back over and go over these bigger gems and give them a nice coat. The thing with the key rings too that I find is very common is that you get a lot more pooling up because of the different heights of the different gems and whatnot. And I also notice that I'm having trouble getting it to stay on the edge here. These particular gems here are the ones that I think lose a lot of detail as well. So let's see if I can't come in with a clean brush and try to wipe some of that excess off. Since we just want a light, thin coat on those. This is the gem that I'll be looking for how it works more so than any of the others. Because that's the one that loses its vibrancy. Alright, so I'm going to go off camera and work on the canvases, and I'll show you what they look like before I set them to cure overnight. And that's what the butterfly is looking like so far. All right, I will be back in just a split second so you can see how everything looks before we leave it to set. All right, the deed is done. So obviously you saw me do these two things here, so we won't get in on that. I do have a new painting for the squares because, well, the only thing left of the other one is the middle, and I think that would just be too hard to really test and mark. So here we have dolphins, and I absolutely love this painting, but small square paintings are not easy to come by. I have one other one that's small and square, but it's mostly white, so it wouldn't really help much, which is why I probably will be much more careful in the future so I'm not repeating it, because it's very similar in concept to this one, is how white this one is, where most of the color is in the center. Very hard to do what I need to do with these experiments, but you can see it's up on the very top there, and so far you can still see the glimmer and the sparkle and the added sparkle where I placed the glitter down. I'm trying to be careful about the glitter, so I'm not adding too much. So let's get you nice and close. It's very wet. It's freshly applied. And, of course, the rounds again. So right up there, I tried to get into the color a little bit, but it's mostly in the white. So it just comes down to about there. We may pick a new round canvas going forward, but I just hate to waste all this valuable real estate. So we're going to let these guys cure overnight, and then I'll come back and show you all the results. And hopefully by then I will have thought up a new way to show you how everything looks. Kind of like you're seeing it right directly through my eyes. So I'll see you in a split second, which will be 24 hours for me. All right, my friends, I am back. I always say day 1, day 2 when I label these videos before I start editing. So I was about to say welcome to day 2. So this stuff was actually dry relatively quickly, so I did not need to wait 24 hours, but I did anyhow. Like I said, it was completely dry to the touch. Probably within about 3 hours. It wasn't tacky or anything. Right after I finished filming day 1, it was still just a little bit tacky on some of the spots. On others, it was dry to the touch. So very fast drying, which I am very pleasantly surprised by. And the other thing is that I was trying to figure out how I was going to either take pictures or film close-ups for you to see. And I grabbed the sticker for the next project, and I was like, oh my god, it looks so real, before I realized that I did the frog yesterday, and it looks so much better. I don't know how to really explain it, and I am just like pleasantly surprised at how amazing it did at sealing and maintaining the sparkle on all mediums, even the accessory where, and I'll show it to you on the accessories I still have, where the certain gems always get clouded out or dulled down. Now, I will say though, first off, that this gem here is the one that I always have troubles with getting it to maintain its sparkle, because they are by far one of the most sparkly gems that you can get for a kit, because they have so many cuts and they're clear with the silver backing, so they always give off an intense sparkle. And though it didn't maintain that 100%, it has done the best job so far, and you can kind of see it just from me moving it. So far, it did the best job. Now, it's not really fair to compare it to this one here, because this one also appears to be coated upside down, which I do not know why I put that on, to be honest. It has, like, a gold coating on the top. Let's see if you can see that. So it's not really fair to compare it to that one, but you can compare it to the middle one, which has a little bit of an iridescent coating on it. I don't know. This kit was so funny because none of the gems were like the same as far as certain ones. But you can also see it in the long yellow ones. Those ones also would get clouded out really easily. And I'm going to do the best I possibly can to show you how it sparkles. And it seems to have kept and enhanced. Like, I guess the best way for me to describe it is it makes them look like you clean them up. Like, I always wipe down all my projects with a baby wipe when I'm doing like my finishing stuff before I frame. And that's kind of what this is reminding me of when it's still wet right after I've wiped it down, but on a permanent basis. So this is the other side where I'm talking about. This was done, I don't know, I'd have to go back to the other videos, but these are two different sealants on this side, and you can see it's more of a uniform sparkle, and like those diamond-esque ones, while they might glimmer a little bit, you can tell definitely that they look a little cakey, and you can see something on them. And I want to say one of them was triple thick, but don't quote me on that. Whereas now on this side, you're getting it a little bit more sparkly. It's such a weird word to say, let me tell you. And on the sticker itself, that's, I think, where it's easier for me to notice because it's kind of a more uniform color. Like, there's more green to kind of help show that off. And you can see that it's very sparkly still and even more shiny. And I'll just kind of hold it steady for a second so you can see that. But it didn't really take anything away from it. And I'm really hoping that this comes across, because this, so far, I know I said it in the last two videos, first with the Tombow and then with the Judikins, that they were edging toward being my favorites. But this one, I think, has completely won me over and taken the place of both of those. And we'll see how well it'll glitter. I need to do a different round. That is 100% sure, which is why I'm glad we have a round sticker here, because the white, you don't really see much of a sparkle in whites. Like if you look over here where there's nothing, it's really hard to see the sparkle until you get to those darker colors. So I apologize for picking such a lousy canvas, but I mean, it looks pretty uniform when you move the painting throughout. You can't really see it's almost impossible. I'll just do a close-up of that in a photo in a second here. I'll insert that. But on the squares, because this is so colorful, it does show up a little bit better. And I used in this top corner here, and so you can see right away I noticed that it still had a lot of sparkle when it was still setting. And you can see it's seamless. It doesn't look like anything was changed at all. So, and then where I added this little strip of glitter, it's even more sparkly, at least in person. And it really allows that natural sparkle to come through. And the thing with this particular painting, though it's one of my favorites that I've done, the reason I chose to go ahead with it and use sealant on it is because there are many spots where the drills are popping off. And in fact, in this section here, I did have to push down 3 of the drills that started popping off. So it kept them in place nicely, put a nice thin coat on top of it. And you can't even see where, because I always paint off the side so that I can see what it looks like with nothing. And it left a really beautiful, super clear finish. And you can kind of see it a little bit in this corner. It's probably not. I'm probably seeing it and assuming you are. I always think that it's capturing the glitter or the glimmer really well until I get into editing, and then I realize that, in fact, no, It's me, not you. And I really wish it would pick up on the round itself. Let's try a different angle, huh? Well, and you can see the Judakins is next to it. There we go, a little tiny bit. Oh, it's just so hard because I didn't get down into the color. So this will be the last appearance of this canvas. And I may redo the DuraClear off camera, obviously, onto a different canvas. And possibly the Judakins and the UV resin, of course. And I'll do that onto a different canvas that has more colors like this one where it'll show off a little bit better. Oh, there was a gem I did not push back down. The other thing that I've been forgetting to do on these tests is to show you how it holds the gems in place. So on this one in particular, the glue is really bad, and you can see that with very little effort, those gems just slide around it. This was a miserable canvas to diamond paint. And over on the DuraClear side, they ain't moving. And on the sticker, they ain't moving. Oh. I mean, you can't see the pressure I'm applying, but, and the big thing on these, it's kind of like similar where it's super easy to move these gems. I don't know if my camera is gonna, you can see I've pushed them off a little bit, but they're very easy to manipulate and pull off of this accessory. Whereas now on this side, oh, it did move a little bit, but I'm really pulling. It didn't move there. It didn't move there. So, okay, maybe that was a spot that I wasn't very full on. So, I mean, there we have it. Let me, whatever it is I decided to do, whether it was a video slideshow or a picture slideshow, I'll put that in here. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about pros and cons. All right, so the pros that I see is that it leaves a very thin, high gloss coat like it claims that it does. It dries super fast. It's low odor. You get a giant bottle of it, and you can mix in glitters if you want. I'm sure you could thin this out if you wanted to, but I don't think that there is a need for it because it is so thin. It was very easy to work with, if I didn't say that already. As far as cons go, I don't really have a lot, I guess, other than the first time I ever saw this was in Hobby Lobby. I didn't see this at Michael's, and I looked at both of those craft stores specifically for varnishes, lacquers, sealants, anything in that kind of category. Anything that could be used as a possible sealant. Sorry, my voice cracks there. And so I don't find that this is super easy to find unless you're looking specifically for varnish. And every time I've looked on Amazon, I've typed in sealant and it has not come up. I guess that would be a con. The other con is that if you don't rinse out your brush, it ruins it, but all of the sealants have. I don't know. I don't have a lot of cons with this one because now I'm thinking of more pros. It doesn't get gummy or anything like that either, and not all of them have, but most of them have. I mean, so far it's a really good product, and if I weren't conducting further experiments, this is where I would probably leave it at this point. But now that I have opened up a whole new category of things to test out, I gotta keep going because this is just the first product that I found. But I tell you, I am super excited to use this to seal other projects, especially like things. I've been looking for something for my Christmas ornaments, which I'm still going to do a tutorial on regardless of, the time frame or whatever. I'm still gonna, because you can make ornaments any time of the year, and crafters never work in the same holiday that they are crafting for. So I don't know if I should start a rating system for these and start putting these onto a scale. Let me know in the comments if you think I should do that. I don't have to do it on camera, but I can track it off camera if you think that that might be a helpful tool for some of you that are like me and you need to rate things and categorize things. I could do a couple of different like headings with that as well, like lacquers, glues, sealants, because there's so many different types that people gravitate towards when they're considering things for a sealant. So let me know if you think that that's something that might be a good idea. If it's something you want me to start implementing, I can go back through and kind of refresh myself on the videos so that I can give a fair rating to all of the different products so far. And I think it would be easy at this point because I've worked with I've done 9 different projects. I mean, some of them have been the same product, but used differently. But let me know, because I can also include the stuff that, like the Tombow, how I planned on thinning that out with water off camera. I can start including different methods of application too. So I probably will do it anyway, but I guess what I'm asking is if you want to see that, or if you want to see the information, or if you want me to start ranking them on camera. I mean, I have no problems with whatever the majority decides. I will put a poll up in the eye as well to make it a little bit easier. If you don't want to leave a comment or whatever, it should have popped up a little eye, and you just click on that and the poll will be right there. Let me know, and let me know all your thoughts and opinions about the DuraClear High Gloss. Let me know, have you worked with it for diamond paintings or other things? And do you know of any other deco art products that might work? And any other sealants? I've been tracking everything that people leave in the comments. So if you've left a comment about a specific sealant or a way to use a sealant, I do have that. I've tried to cut out all these comments and save them so that I can give proper credit to the people that recommend certain products to me. And if you were one of those that did recommend this in a comment in a previous video, I do sincerely apologize again. Sometimes I get so many comments that I don't remember all of them. So if it's been mentioned, I do apologize. And please just forgive me. So I think that's the best place to leave this video. It would mean so much to me if you subscribe before you leave, if you have not done so already. I would love to have you as part of the family. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up. That tells the YouTube gods that this is a video worth recommending to other people. And then hit that bell so that you will always be notified when I upload videos just like this one and all the other things that I have going on. And with that, I'll let you go. Have an awesome day. Have fun doing whatever it is that truly, truly makes you happy. I love you, friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.